There we go. Is that better? Okay, guys, we're back. Same crew, different day, Black Friday. For those of you not getting trampled at Walmart. Do you guys want to say hi?
Or Target.
Or Target.
Or Target.
Man, people be
hey
going
guys.
nuts at Target. Hello.
Chad accused me of being a vampire before we went live, so, you know, there's that.
I mean, you know what?
It
In my
wasn't-
book, that's a compliment.
Technically, it wasn't me. Right? Technically, it wasn't me.
Okay, you're just gonna blame history then.
Yeah, history.
It was implied.
Oh my gosh.
I was pointing out that history is not kind to redheads.
They should be. We're gonna
should
go
be.
extinct soon.
I know. I heard that. Okay. Oh, all right. So,
Wait, for real?
yeah, that's
Yeah, being a redhead is a recessive gene. So, like, and you have to have a redhead gene on both parents' lineage for there to be a chance. So, natural red hair is becoming far less and less common, which means eventually there will be no more natural red hair.
You'll
Get
have
you,
to
you
like
wear Pokemon,
you'll have
you.
to design it in. You'll have to purposefully choose those genes.
That's the thing, like, with all of the, like, genetic... What is it, like, genetic altering, like, CRISPR stuff going on nowadays?
Yeah.
I could probably bring it back.
Well, that's what I think we will get to that point where, well, here's the thing we might get to the point where you can, even as an adult, like order the genetic traits you want and be like, hey, I want to be a redhead today. I don't think that's beyond the realm of possibility. So I don't know.
I get to the point where you can do that with, like, blue hair.
Your DNA. You might be out of luck with blue hair. You might be out of luck.
I
Because
would
there's no
say
gene for
yes,
blue hair.
except that blue isn't really a natural pigment that you can simulate to grow.
Right.
Tell that to science. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Science can do it.
Come on, science.
I'm relying on you this one time, science. Make my hair permanently blue.
Well,
I don't want to keep
I think
dropping
that'd be fun.
$200 every 3 months.
I want the metabolism of an athlete. Actually, I'll just settle for my friend Jason. If I could have my friend Jason's metabolism. We grew up together, but he was Italian, and I swear he ate 5 times the amount of food I ate, and was just skin and bone. And
I would love
Just bring
to have
Jason
that.
into a laboratory
Yep.
and said, do this.
Exactly. Jason, I love you, but for the sake of fat people in science, we're dissecting you and sharing your genes with the world. Viciously Innocent, welcome. Nice to have you.
I bet they're innocent.
Viciously. So
Viciously innocent.
So should we talk about where we left off?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen here, our last stream, we had the thumbnails. I guess I can go back to the thumbs real quick. No.
Here's
never
what you
mind.
missed on Glee.
I lost them. Where are they? Are they on here? You know what? I bet you they're on here on a different layer. Yes. So this is where we were. Okay. And then this was sort of the one that was universally voted as the strongest candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we kind of like sexy vampires, so we decided to go with number 2, but maybe add a few sexy vampires. Oh, no. There we go. So these are the finished pencils. We sent these off, and then I actually have the inks. I got a scan of the ink. So these are the finished pencils. This is the color comp I sent to the colorist. It's being colored right now by Chuck Michael Obach. And I'll show you the finished pencils. I got them in here. Let's see. Nope, that's my cover template. Oh, daggone it. All right, so here's the finished inks. Inked by my friend Mustafa Musa, and you can tell I love Mustafa because how faithful his inks are to my pencils. So like you can see, like there's the pencils, there's the inks. I mean,
oh wow,
yeah, he's that
I
faithful.
can't tell a difference.
Right, exactly, which is why I love him. He's
and get that man a fruit basket.
Yeah, no, for reals, right? Because before I would just keep it digital, and now that I found Mustafa and he just is able to be so faithful to it, I have a ton of originals now. So, so this is the original. You know, this is how, and you can see when he's done, he signs it. So we have the original for this piece. It is for sale right now. Mustafa he's in San Diego. It's San Diego Comic-Con right now. So not only is it Black Friday, it's San Diego Comic-Con because of COVID.
Really is the most wonderful time of the year.
I know, right? So if you're in San Diego, you can pick this up. We might as well talk. We did before. We did on our first comeback live stream. We did the inks, or well, I was finishing the pencils for this. This is also inked by Mustafa, and then colored. This is colored by Chuck Michael Obach. So the same colorist who is coloring Deathwatch now colored this. So here's the finished artwork here. Let's get these. Look at how glorious it is. Behold.
Bicep really do be shining. And that deltoid.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's amazing. But just it's just a thing of beauty. So this will be available. Pre-orders. You might be able to get onto MB Artist today. I'll after we're done doing this, I'll post it to Instagram. There is a code where you get 10% off today and free shipping. I think you get it all the way up to a certain day in December. So if you're thinking about getting this or any of my other Hardin art prints, 10% off and free shipping for like the next couple of weeks. Anyway, I'll have that. Look for that ad on Instagram. I'll put it up on Insta and Facebook and Twitter. But yeah. Anywho, so we got cool stuff to show. This is, oh shoot, I meant to grab this. I'll grab it later. But we're gonna do. Oh, and this is also the cover template. I need the interior template. We're gonna work on interiors today for Deathwatch, which is the name of our vampire comic. So let's get to work on that. Let me bring back over my reflector screen. So my reflector screen is Procreate on my iPad, and everything you're seeing right here is Photoshop on my Wacom. So if I switch in between the two, you know what's happening. Ah! Sorry, my screen's geeking out. Alright, there we go. Okay. So let's go back to the gallery. Let's do a new comic page. Alright, guys. So we're gonna... Now, I guess I should backtrack just a little bit and talk about Deathwatch. So we knew that we're doing a vampire comic, and we were trying to pick the name. And the name that we had originally picked with the script was just the name of the main character. And the marketing people with Artist Elite didn't necessarily think it was that catchy. And unless the name is like a historical figure, like Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, then I think that's sort of a natural consequence. Sorry, I had to take a sip of Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper.
It's the sweet one.
Oh, so good. So anyway, I did a little bit of researched vampires, vampirism, and it turns out that humans all over the globe basically have a ceremony where they watch the dead bodies of their loved ones in the hopes that they're not actually dead. In Ireland, they call it a wake. in the hopes that they're just like extremely drunk and eventually they'll wake up, or that they're not actually dead and then they'll wake up. And so there it was a tradition to make sure that they didn't accidentally bury someone while they're still alive. Some countries would attach bells to the graves so that if someone was buried alive, they could ring the bell and, get dug up.
Saved by the bell.
In Romania, the Romania USSR region of Europe/Asia, they would have what was called a Deathwatch. And there they would watch to see if their loved ones reanimated. But if they did, they basically cut their heads off, impaled them with sharp objects, and then burned the body because they were possessed. They were vampires. So this was an actual thing in a part of Europe for a very, very long time. So anyway, I thought, that would be sort of a cool name. Anyway, we don't have a script for this, so we're just going to draw. Well, I guess we could just draw our thumbnails for the page and then blow it up. But we'll do thumbnails and then we'll do pencils. Now, one note, I want to talk about how this is going to be a little bit different because I want to start formatting my comics both for print and for webtoons. Now, for anyone and when I say webtoons, I just mean a scrolling comic, okay? Which means instead of doing the traditional comic layout where you have the 6 panels and you're reading left to right, up, down, I need to do something that will allow me to basically reformat for webtoons where it's just stream, scrolling down, 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 but then also make it for print where when it's printed, it'll fit on a normal page and it reads left to right. So one of the things I'm thinking about is basically getting rid of long shots or any type of camera angles that go all the way across the page, and instead of doing, replacing that with a tall shot, because that still works, and then sticking to the most part for to a 6-panel grid. So my layout's probably going to look a little old-fashioned because anyone that's looking at it, it's going to be a little bit different. It might be a little bit of a shock to the system because we're used to comics looking what I called, I called this age of comics the image age, even though we're probably, the post-image age at this point. Basically, all the rules for the standard formats have sort of gone out the window, and it's just like whatever works for you, it works. So I'm going back a little bit to silver, bronze age layouts and reformatting for the scroll. So if you're wondering why I'm choosing the layout I'm choosing, that's why. Anywho, all right. So let's clear this. And then let's start thinking about. So one of the things I was thinking is there'd be a funeral. Help me out, guys. Funeral. Is it procession?
Funeral in progress, or like a.
Yeah, like where they're walking. What? Anyway, I can't. I'm having a middle.
You're basically trying to illustrate a Deathwatch, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna illustrate a Deathwatch that goes horribly wrong, right?
Oof.
Yeah, oof. So let's get the drawing guide going, and then
Depending on what kind of person you are, maybe it went horribly right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're a vampire hunter, it went horribly right. But
you're just sitting in the corner, come on, just a little movement.
Just
Remind me that my job is worth something.
So, oof, no. Ah! That looks a little bit better. Okay, that looks basically, so we got here, we're gonna have our establishing shot here, and then, so that's panel 1. Here, let me turn this on. Hold on. So panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll work on a printed page, and as a scroll, I'll just take 2, 3, 4, 5, and then stack them in Photoshop.
That's really smart.
So well, we'll see how it works, because
Right, true.
people might be like, why isn't there an establishing? I mean, we're gonna be fighting against over a century of cinematography.
True.
So yeah, there might be a blue light. All right, so I'm picturing though. Let's clear these out, and then let's add a new layer, and then let's get rid of the drawing grid. Whoa. And then let's turn this opacity down. So with this is just pure thumbnailing once again. I'm gonna have our horizon line up here. I would imagine, like I said, I imagine this sort of being in the Ural region of Europe, Romania. Anyway.
Third Mango says, "Hey, what is up, good buddy?"
Not a mucho. Just jumping back into the live streams. I have no idea what we're going to have to research. I'm going to have to do some research on the house.
Okay, so the Deathwatch is being held in a house.
Yeah. Or,
So that was just...
I'm going to have to research a lot of it. Like, I'm going to have to find out, like, when... I figured this will be the dead body right here. Sort of wind its way through the scene.
It's like, I'm just imagining holding a Deathwatch in a church. It's like, imagine, you're about to reanimate as a vampire. You're inside of a church. The first sensation you feel is just like this, crazy burning because you're in a church.
Yeah.
It's like, no wonder you would shoot up, like, why am I on fire? I was asleep.
Yeah. So then, let's see. Trying to think of camera angles. Like maybe we have the body here, window, dramatic lighting, everything else around it's dark, but maybe we have faces of people mourning surrounding it.
Mango says again, how's life been treating you? We've missed you.
It's just been busy. It's good but busy. And, COVID disrupted everything, so now we're just trying to get back into the pre-COVID swing, I guess you can say. And so, but other than that, we're doing good. I've already got all my Christmas shopping done. Did it way before Black Friday. So I'm just going to indicate, I'm going to X this out, probably X that out too. And then I'll do a little bit of just a nonsensical shadow, just to sort of bring things back into this next panel. Okay, guys. So here, for the character that basically is aware of the the vampire rites, do we make it like a wizened shaman? Do we make it a holy person? Do we
Probably like a priest or something.
See, that was my first impression, but it could also be. So one of the things that happened, they talk about the Spanish Inquisition, but one of the things that actually happened during the Spanish Inquisition is they killed all the wise women, burned them as witches. But we could have a woman figure as opposed to a priesthood figure.
That could be cool.
So did you say this was taking place in Romania, or?
Yeah, so it's going to be more the Greek Orthodox tradition as opposed to the.
Okay. Because yeah, whatever figure you put in there, I would just look up what's like practical for whatever the overarching like religious practice or like spiritual practices of that area, and then align it with that.
I thought maybe it might be spookier to have almost like a witchy type, like almost like a, like don't let the vapors, get to the body. Because it's really interesting, like reading like why they thought all these things, happened, and you can just see the superstition just, getting a hold of people and sort of running wild. Yeah, he needs to be. Well, right now we'll just call him a priest for right now, but we might swap him out. But performing some final rites, whatever, and then we have mourning, crying family. We could still have light coming through here, and then we'll want some of that cloth to zigzag. We want the zigzag composition to go through. And I might change up this angle too. Like right now it's really flat. We could change up the angle, but right now I'm just trying to get the whole look established. Be fun to do like lost and found line right through here. Okay. And then I just sort of want to do one where the sun is coming through the window and the sun's going down. So the window in this scene, this is really important. And then the light coming through is really important. And then we have where the sun's coming down and the light is getting weaker. I don't know if we I don't know if we should dedicate an entire panel to that, or bisect it right here, and maybe even do a three grid. That might work. Let's do that. Oh! Just trying to use effective space. So the sun's setting, like the final light of day is coming through. Maybe we even have like, I don't know, like the feet underneath the cloth, and like there's just like a little bit of light hitting the feet still from the window. And then, or maybe that would be better here. And then one where it's out. Like the light, it's completely dark. Think. I want to do drama.
Gotta make it.
I know.
Super edgy.
I know. So I'm gonna backtrack this. I'm a firm believer that comics should move as fast as they possibly can. pacing is really important to me. I don't like comics that just... I like comics that get to the point as fast, you know, get to the action. But that's me. So what if we do the window? I sort of want to... No. Alright. I want the window big. I want the sun setting. And I want the
All kinds of ominous sunlight in there.
Close up that. Let's try that again. Maybe just a little bit higher up. It's touching the bottom too close. And then okay, drawing that body in perspective. Head, torso, pelvis, feet, probably feet together for whatever reason. Hands resting peacefully, maybe flowers or whatnot. Just the light just barely coming through, hitting. And then we can just sort of have, you know, like the family is like asleep now. Like they've been watching for so long, they're tired, they're exhausted. We can just sort of have them like resting on each other's shoulders or whatnot.
How long they would typically watch the body for?
Yeah, they're watching the body.
Like, how long do people... How long would they do that for?
I need
like a full 24 hours?
I need to do more research. I think they might have lasted like a couple of days in some instances. But it's really funny. There's books in Library of Congress, because apparently there's a vampire scare in the United States too. So
I love that.
I know.
Bring it back.
Well, in the United States, we always do it wrong. We take it too far. We burn innocent people. You know.
Oh, that's true.
We can't ever do anything.
So we got
with
the crucible.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Oh, Ryan Brown is back.
Hey, Ryan.
Sup, Chad? What you working on?
We are doing the same thing we're doing every day, Pinky. Trying to take over the world. All right, we need a little.
I still regret not using that line at work. Like, I think I told Ray about this, but I had the perfect opportunity with my last manager, like the one who shoved me out, basically. Like, she sat me down to have like this one-on-one out of nowhere one day, and it was like just basically like a grill sesh, and I'm like, okay, I don't really know where this came from, but whatever. And she had pink hair at the time, and she was asking me like, you know, I look at the numbers for Night Crew, and like it doesn't seem that busy, so like, what are you guys doing every night? And I was this close to looking her in the eye and being like, same thing I do every night, Pinky. Try and take over the world.
That would have been a great one-liner to end a career on.
Oh, absolutely. But it was one of those things where I was looking at her and I'm like, you know, don't think you would get this line. So I'm a little thrown off.
You don't deserve this.
Yeah, you don't deserve this wittiness. Insult my work ethic, fine. You don't get my epic quotes.
Okay. So the last bit of light is hitting the toe. Now I want one where the light is out. So what if we...
Ooh, duplicate the shot maybe, but cut closer to the figure. It's pitch black, except there's two glowing eyes from underneath the sheet.
Yes, I was gonna say, make them eye glows.
All right, I
Make
like
them's
it.
eyes glows. It's like, ooh, spooky.
It's like, oh, it's getting real.
Oh, Chili Chapter says, I still don't know what Chad is working on.
Okay, so this is our Artist Elite book. Deathwatch. Okay, so if I duplicate that panel, but that's good though, because we want to show the nighttime. I guess we could just zoom in close like this. Well, we could cheat, right? We can cheat. Okay, so we got to be close enough that we can see the head. So that's close enough. Oh, did I just paste that on top? No, good. All right. Wrong layer.
I hate when I do that.
I know. There's a meme on it, and I want to get it made into a poster. And Third Mango gave us a subscription. Thank you, Third Mango. Let's see. Chili chapters. I still. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, Third Mango. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it. And we're glad you enjoy the stream. And hopefully we'll be doing this more. Let's see. Oh! Guys, you're not supposed to let me do that. Invert.
Sorry.
Is it still selecting?
I only have so much control, Chad.
I know.
I'm in a different place. In time.
Hold on. Let's try this again. Clear. No. Okay, you gotta thread this needle. Invert now. There we go. Clear. There we go. All right,
Mango says it's John from John and Jess.
Oh, cool. Nice. Where are you guys at? I haven't seen you forever. All my students are on here. So do you guys know Jess?
Mm-mm.
Never met Jess. I'm trying to think when Jess graduated. Merge, 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 merge down. There we go. Very good student. Had an amazing comic. And I haven't seen her forever. So I think, I don't, oh, let's see. We're in Boston. Boston? You're in Boston, Mr. Hardin? Can you draw me Harley Quinn? Doing my PhD. Wow. Wow, okay. What? I'm doing PhD dissertation on sociology of comedy. Okay. All right. And what's Jess doing? Okay, let me refocus on here. Okay, so we're zooming in on the face. We're gonna take some artistic liberties.
Yep.
And we're gonna swing that window around to fit in the frame, even though it wouldn't fit in the frame.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gonna be
It's
dark.
art physics, not actual physics.
Right. But so it'll be dark. Okay, so it's dark outside. And now do we already do the eyes? Do we have the eyes open here? Ah!
Yes.
There we go. That's how we do it, right there.
Perfect. I don't think you even need a line art on that.
I know, right? Here, let's just edit it this way. Ah!
Are those the eyes? They're just like two dark
Yeah.
voids.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice.
There we go. Master comic book artist.
Incredible.
I know, right? Woohoo! Alright.
Kind of reminds me of Spy versus Spy characters.
Let's see. Third Mango says the most recent thing Jess did was a music video for Duran Duran. What?
Wow.
Commissions when they come in. We've also been streaming on Twitch. Hey, sweet. All right. So why don't you drop Jess's channel on here, and we'll all go give a follow. Whoa.
Dog.
Okay. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. I'm gonna go see why he's freaking out.
Okay. Take a gun. Sounds serious.
I bet you it's Sophie's fault.
Whose fault? The cat?
Yeah.
The cat's teasing the dog, as cats are wont to do.
Yes, there we go.
There we go. Let's see.
You wake up and you're like, who put a blanket on my head?
Yeah. Getting creepy here.
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at this compositionally. We got really strong. Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and drop. I'm gonna drop these darks in. Ah, too much. All right. So Chili just followed Third Mango. All right. Look at that. Nope. Deep sigh of exasperation. Let's try that. Okay, there we go. Okay, we definitely need people here to balance this out. So we got to have shapes in here. Got to have some shapes in here. Can't just have white.
Have returned, and I'm pretty sure Sylvie was innocent.
Ah!
Oh.
Ray Ray, you were wrong. Sophie will
Whose
be...
fault was it then?
See, I have no idea. I'm assuming he just saw someone on the street and was like, hey, you're a little too close. So, I don't know. But Sylvie ran away, and I did take my hammer with me, because that's all I have. So,
You at least need a sword, come on.
yeah.
We'll have to do an episode from the gun range. Get you guys certified, trained. Kill us.
See, when COVID first started, I was like, huh, should I be, like, preparing? Like, I was ready for people to riot and start, like, ransacking places. Like, I don't know how bad it was gonna get.
I mean, that did happen in big cities.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
With a lot of the, you know, Black Lives Matter stuff that was going on over the summer,
Mm-hmm.
and people they were going nuts. I want to say I heard in Seattle or something, because this was back when I was still at Starbucks, so I knew all of, like, the Starbuckian news.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, Starbuckian. So, I want to say a cafe there, like, all the workers had to flee, basically, because it just got ransacked. Like, people were throwing chairs through windows, and, like, they all got to go home.
Well, and you know,
You say that like a good thing. You're like, yeah, gotta go home early from work today. Some guy threw a chair through the window, you know.
I mean, if that happened at my store, the thing is that all of us were so, like, apathetic and jaded at that point. If someone threw a chair through the window, we'd be like, okay, cool, back door, run. Home, everybody.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I used to work at a gas station, so I would have done the same. I've been like, okay, cool.
It's like,
so
I'm not
I
about to
can
lay
leave
down my
way.
life for Howard Schultz.
Okay, so I'm just adding a few bodies in there, trying to even things out compositionally. This one's too big. I need to... Oops. So really at this point, I'm really focused on composition. That's the number one thing. I'm not worried, you know, obviously... Ah! What did I do there? Oh. Okay, those are my choices. I see what I did. So I'm just trying to get this to work compositionally first. I don't know. I don't think I like that. I sort of liked it better when they were just gone. So maybe they're just more in shadow.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could always just like have them there in the background, but obviously they're not the focus, so just have them more vaguely shaped, suggested.
Yeah.
The person waking up is like, "Oh crap, my dinner rolls. Did I leave the oven
my
on at home?"
gosh. The water, it's running. I don't have much of that.
at midnight.
I have an essay due at midnight.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I got to do something on this first panel to make it way more interesting, because this is driving me nuts. So sometimes it's good just to get something down, just so you can say, no, this sucks, I got to redo it.
Doing that with every single one of my pages lately.
So
Oh, big.
Ray knows.
I'm gonna do something just a little different. Maybe the house is like right here, and then we have the people carrying the dead body. We still have the procession going into the house, and it could be like a shed. Add a little bit of mystery to it. I haven't decided whether or not it's going to be a church, but let's do something like that. And then we'll have like the tall Transylvania mountains.
Yes, there we go.
And then that helps everything sort of come into this next. Maybe even like flowers or something where it's a little bit peaceful up here.
It's like it's still
all-
a funeral.
It's all peaceful until it's not.
Right.
Hmm.
So I like that better. I don't know if I like the Dutch tilt. I might need to fix that.
I like it.
Okay, so this one I'm okay. This one I'm okay. What about this one? What about panel 3? I almost feel like...
I think it works.
Should I zoom out?
Maybe zooming out just a touch would help.
Let's try that.
It's like it's almost a little weird to be like really zoomed in and then you zoom out and then it's like right back in.
You're just taking your camera and you're going whoop, whoop, whoop. Also, Kata, thank you for the follow.
Absolutely.
Oh, Kitaja, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to work at a 7-Eleven in New York. I'm reading
No,
the chat.
especially
yeah.
not night shift. That would be hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I worked morning shift and that was already bad enough.
You know what?
Hey, you had some stories.
I want to
It's
change
true,
this
I do
where
have
it's
some
not
stories.
straight on. Stories are fun if you live through them.
Yep.
That's-
Man, ain't that the truth. Kitaja says, you got it, boss. So someone named Bearsy Bow followed? Sorry if I said that wrong.
Bear's bow.
Bears... I always
You
worry that I'm
probably
gonna
said it right.
mispronounce these names. Yeah. I'm like, the Z is emphasized in the spelling. I'm assuming that is to be spoken alone. I don't know.
This just in, if your letter's capitalized, it's single. It is alone.
It's like, you know, a little elementary self was taught if something's capitalized and there's some emphasis there, so I'm like, alright, Ms. Smith, I will trust you. And then, you know, we made like paper turkeys or snowflakes or something.
The Z is important. That's valid.
Sweet.
I sort of like this angle better. We could basically have this whole section just sort of bathed in light. Like this is like the last sort of moment before the crazy starts.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few people. Okay, I like that better. It's a lot more dynamic. And then I blows it up.
Hey, you should make that sound again.
Oh my gosh. I keep saying this, but one of these days I want to record like all these weird sound effects that you do anytime like something goes wrong, and then it's just gonna be like your notification sound on my phone.
Ah! Alright, you missed one right there. Come on. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Kitty Jaw, we're doing vampires, not zombies.
So, well, but this, okay. This is what's interesting, though.
How much are you allowed to say?
Well, okay, I'm just going to tell you about what I read. So, vampires, when they start out, they're basically zombies. They're
Okay.
like weak and fragile because they're just turning. And the
They're
more,
little baby vampires.
the more they eat, yeah, like the more they eat, like the more blood they suck and the more like life energy they absorb, that's when they get like powerful and monstrous. And but like when they first start out, yeah, they're basically just sort of like they're basically a zombie. So we're gonna have some of those vibes in there. Yeah, right? Yes. Okay, so next panel. All right, so there's page 1. We'll go in here and we'll call that page 1. Rename. It's not gonna let me do it. Page 1. SE1. Why did my... I don't know if I like that. Let's try that again. Page 1. Re1. Page 1. Hey! 4 times the charm. Alright, well, we'll just leave it for now. Okay. I don't know why my keyboard didn't pop up. It must be a new iOS thing. So, alright, there's page 1. Okay, hide everything. I'm going to leave this grid here just because it helps me for a sec. And then now, this is when all heck breaks loose.
Mm-hmm.
So, now do we want it to happen like suddenly, or like do we want something creepy where maybe they just start by sitting up?
What do you want to be like your biggest, I guess, shock factor on the page? Like when they sit up or when they're like mortared?
I think it'll be nice, like they sit up.
I was like kind of going back to what you were saying about how, you know, when these vampires come back, they're kind of like zombie-esque.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Interview with a Vampire when, I can't remember the other one's name, but he's like, know, you feel terrible because you're like basically drinking terrible blood because
Right.
was it Lestat or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to eat people. He was just like eating rats and stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like, huh.
Yeah.
I never thought about the quality of blood could affect their health.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
You know, I'm with eyes closed still. Like they sit up, but their eyes are still closed.
It's like they opened them in that one panel and then shut them again to just be like, okay, I gotta get up now.
Oh, that's right. We did have them open.
Yeah. And it could be like lidded.
Here, let's.
The eyes could still be open just with a more relaxed expression.
Yeah.
Maybe kind of like the kind of bedroom eyes or something with the really heavy
Bedroom
lids.
eyes.
That's what I've heard they're called. Like ever since someone explained to me Perry's art style, and it's like, yeah, he like gives everyone bedroom eyes. I'm like, what is that? And it's like, it's just like a really like heavy lidded face. Like the eyelids are just like really droopy or something. There's a lot of lid going on. It's like, huh, I did not know they're called that, but cool.
We could also sort of have the veil, the death shroud sort of falling off. That might be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be neat. Like that kind of reminds me of those Greek statues where like they have the veils on they carved a veil on it basically, and I'm like, you psychopaths, how'd you do that? That's brilliant.
Yeah. No television. That's how they did it. No television. No cell phones. It was like that and wrestling. That's all they had back then.
You're not
I
wrong.
love wasn't Plato basically like a wrestler?
Was he?
Thought so. I thought someone told me that. Yeah, Plato was like ripped, and I'm like, what?
So, we were talking before the stream began. Lucy from Bram Stoker's Dracula was redheaded, and there's actually in the books that I was reading, there's a there is a tie to being redheaded and a vampire. So we might make this reanimated corpse at this point a redhead, just to stick with the lore. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you know if it was one of those things where, like, if someone was just walking in with red hair, it was like a kill on sight kind of thing? Or is it, no, let's give them a chance?
Yeah, they would wait. They might stone him to death and then do this whole thing, but you know what that does bug me though, because I'm basically, if I go this route, I'm basically choosing the same layout that I had before, unless I do like another large panel here and then two large panels. But that actually might be fun because that's sort of like there's symbolism there. I don't know. So anyway, I'm just sketching these panels out at this point. You know, could I fit that? Here, let me do this real quick.
You do like a A cross.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Paneling.
Yeah.
That's how I look when I wake up in the morning.
You know what though? I sort of want like the next panel just to be like the face. All right. So I'm gonna definitely have to get the reference for. I'm gonna have to have somebody go into 413, set up some lights, and then try and get this.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Ooh, that was cool. Like that. And then I'm actually going to draw like floaty things. Ah, not that big.
See, I'm wondering, is like dropping the black in there to make like those really, big black areas, is that something you normally do whenever you're drafting comic panels, or is
Yeah.
it like just for this one because you're trying to get a mood?
Both. But I would do it before too. But, like with Harley, there just aren't that many, with Harley, it was just more line. So it wasn't as, dark in mood. So with this one, it's like, to answer your question, yes, I would do it. There's just going to be more of that in this book just because of the subject matter of the book. There's going to be a lot more darks. It'll look more Hellboyish. Oh, look at that. Daggone it. I swear, just make sure you close those boxes. So, do I want, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this again. And rather than, show them getting up, I'm going to just do the hand and a foot. Maybe an indication of the altar.
Sake of conversation, how was y'all's Thanksgiving?
It was good. Friendsgiving was awesome.
It was fun.
It was fun. I think that's the most people I've ever fit in my house. That was nuts. How many people do you think were there?
I have no idea, but it was at least a full, classroom's worth of people.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, where were you, Ray?
I know!
Unless you cannot say.
Ray Ray.
I'm sorry.
What
I
happened?
wanted to be there.
Did you have homework?
Yeah. And, my mans needed the car.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Peri's little,
Hello, okay.
I'm disappointed.
Hmm.
I
That's the thing, I'm like,
expected
what do
more.
I say? Do I give you do I give you a hard time for not being there? Do I just nod my head and be like, oh, the man's needing a car?
Shame.
That just means we'll have to do another get together eventually, and then you need to show up.
I will.
If your man's is like,
Barring-
hello, part 2
Barring
of I need the car.
emergency.
He tries to say, oh hey, you know that car? I need it once more. It's like, you got the car last time, you charlatan. It's my turn.
It's my car.
Dude, that's weird. Just tried to raise that up a little bit. Somehow did some unintended things. I didn't want the foot too close to the bottom. So next time, I was not impressed with the Costco macaroni and cheese. We got to make our own cheese sauce. So we're gonna do that TikTok macaroni and cheese.
Homemade mac and
Peri.
cheese is so hard.
Oh, but we're gonna try that Peri
Honestly,
recipe. That
here's the
we
thing.
found on TikTok.
Watched that recipe multiple times, and I'm actually going to try to make it soon because my brother texted my mother, like, hey, I tried doing something, I tried making homemade mac and cheese. While I am proud of him for actually cooking something because that has never happened, I also feel this sibling instinct to try to one-up him. So I'm going to try making that mac and cheese, and I'll let you know if it comes out good, and if it does, then it can absolutely be made for the next get-together.
Okay.
I like to add breadcrumbs on top of my mac and cheese. I don't know if you're one of those types.
A little bit of crunch.
Crispy bacon. Crispy bacon on
Ooh,
top
bacon,
of the mac and cheese.
man.
Yeah. Oh. There we go. Do it. Chili Chapters is volunteering the mac and cheese. Heck on it.
Ooh. Maybe, like, I can try making cakes. Cakes are kind of more my domain. I am a baker.
I can make my fruit pie.
Okay, wait a minute. Is it like actual fruit pie, or is it like the fruit pie that I once heard of? You didn't tell me it, but I once heard of this fruit pie. It was evil. Do you use actual fruit,
What?
or not?
Yes, actual fruit. My grandma
Okay,
wanted
so
to
now-
make hair with this pie. It's it's
Wow.
not like it's not a baked fruit pie. It's a cream and fruit pie. It's really good.
Ooh. Yeah, no,
I'm
dude, let me
actually
tell you about
eating
this
some right now.
evil pie. That's what
Tell
you're
me about
eating.
the
I'm
evil
like,
pie.
is he eating like cereal? Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, so my friend, she was telling me about something that her husband's family eats, like her family-in-law will eat. And one of his siblings was like, hey, I'm gonna bring over fruit pie. This was not a fruit pie. This was a liar. Because basically, it's a pie made entirely of, like, different kinds of candy. And, like, how they made it was that they took a ton of, like, fruit by the foot and put that in there, like, laced it, basically, so it made, like, almost a net-like structure. And then they filled it with Starburst, I think?
Okay.
Some kind of, like,
I think that
chewy candy.
they were passing off Christmas fruitcake. Like someone gave them a. That sounds like fruitcake to me. The things that.
But, like, there's nothing cakey about it. It was just candy. In candy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's what a fruitcake is. Have you ever had a fruitcake?
I have never, no.
Okay, so
I have not.
they're an abomination that should be thrown on the scrap heap of history. I mean, they're horrible. See, Chili Chapters agrees with me. Okay, you're basically in the old days before any of those candies existed. What did they put in it? Like gumdrops, orange slices. Okay.
I hate gumdrops with a passion.
I'm just saying. So, yeah. Sounds to me someone tried to pass off their fruitcake to you. And with that, we're going to take a sip of our sponsor, Diet Dr. Pepper.
Gosh. Legal reasons. This is not actually sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper.
No, it's not. Not at all, but we're drinking it
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, no, apparently the family went nuts over the fruit by the foot crusted Starburst fruit pie thing, where it's just like a regular occurrence now, and I'm just like, that
No.
is a bit
awful.
much.
That's
Will
horrible.
not. Yeah. Oh, one thing I will be making though, I'm gonna be making bonbons soon. It's almost bonbon season, and I'm really excited.
What, like Peggy Bundy?
Remind me what bonbons are.
Yeah. Peggy Bundy
Okay,
bonbons?
so say Ted Bundy bonbon.
Peggy Bundy.
Oh, okay. No, it's something that my family just made for a long time, then stopped, and I'm like, I will bring this back. So you basically make a divinity. It has like, pecans and coconut and like all this stuff in it. It's a really rich divinity. It's really sweet. Then what I do is that, you roll them into little balls and I dip them in like really dark chocolate, like dark Godiva chocolate. So it kind of balances out. I like to put a little bit of sea salt on mine. A lot of my family, they just kind of like them as is traditionally, which is, no salt, but I think the salt brings out the flavor more. And oh my gosh, I've watched these buns tear families apart because they're just like, I want it.
They fight over it. That's sort of what happened with your moose pie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I tried to eat it all, and Joy's like, "We're gonna share that with." Now there's only like one slice left, so I don't want to make it sound like.
No.
Yeah, oh yes, Ted Bundy pie.
I just have to make another one then here. Because, okay, I want to experiment with that pie a little bit, like with the flavor. And I want to try adding mint to it at some point. Almost like a, chocolate peppermint pie. I don't know how it would taste, but I'm optimistic. But yeah, when bonbon season rolls around, I will be sure to give some to you and your family, Chad.
What about me?
Do Ray, if you care. I was just about to include you. Hold on.
Or my sweets.
Ray Ray's like, "Where's my pie?"
Calm it down. I'm getting to you.
It is Black Friday. What would Black Friday be without someone being trampled to death over a perceived scarcity in resources?
Chili Chapters asked if it's like a cake pop.
How
It's
did
not
that
really.
escape? There we go. Jeez.
Mouth.
It's not exactly like a cake pop because like there's no cake involved. And anytime I've seen cake pops made, you basically make the cake and then you crumble it up and you add like icing to it or something to make that like more doughy
Orb.
consistency. Yeah, it's like, well, this is a dough. It's not cake. You don't make it the same way you would make a cake. It doesn't really taste cakey. It's just like sweet, coconutty heaven. So. Also another cake I should probably make here pretty soon. I make a pretty good, like, lemon mascarpone cake.
That sounds delicious.
Here's the thing. I don't know why, but lemon cake has had it out for me since I was born.
Why?
Like, anytime... I don't know. Like, anytime I would try to make lemon cake, it never worked. It always came out too dry. So I've always had this personal war with lemon cake. But then, last year, my friends were like, hey, we're getting married. Can you make our wedding cake, basically? And I had made them a strawberry mascarpone cake over the summer. Like, make that cake again. I'm like, well, really an issue because strawberries aren't in season during the winter. but citrus is, so I can make a lemon version. I tried this lemon cake recipe, and oh my gosh, not only did it come out perfectly, but this is like the freshest, like most lemony tasting cake I have had in my life. Like, it's fantastic. And you make like a lemon curd, basically, that goes in between it. So it's like cake, and then, you do like a border of icing, add lemon curd, the layer of cake, icing, curd, cake. Then you ice the whole thing with this like mascarpone cream cheese icing. And oh my gosh, I will never go back to other icings. Because if there's one thing I hate, is icing that is just too sweet.
Yeah,
I don't like it when the icing... Yeah, I don't like it when the icing competes with the cake itself.
Exactly.
So...
I do.
This... Chad, this isn't about you.
Send it over here. I'm just saying, if you have like any ones where you're like, this is too sweet, I gotta throw it away. Don't throw it away. Give it to Crunkle Chad. Crunkle Chad.
Take it to Chad's
there's,
house.
There's my side hustle. Crunkle Chad pie disposal. I'm making a shirt.
Just makes it sound like you're gonna be sitting on your porch, mouth open, waiting for people to like scrape their leftovers off into your mouth.
Make a shirt. Put up a sign from the house. Crunkle Chad's pie disposal. Bring it on in.
No, this like icing recipe, because most icings I've made, it calls for like, what is it? I think like two cups of powdered sugar is like a pretty typical like homemade icing quantity. However, this recipe only calls for a cup and a fourth. Then it's heavy whipping cream and mascarpone cream cheese, and I think a little bit of vanilla. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so smooth. It is so creamy. Like it just melts in your mouth.
I literally
doesn't
just had an
compete with the
entire
cake
slice
flavor.
of pie, and now I'm like, I need to eat another one.
I know. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm already up. Okay, so I got down to 272, like right before New York Comic Con, and I was like 2 pounds away from like back to being 272, and Thanksgiving hit.
Huh?
Yeah, it's bad news. It's bad news. But right now, and I'm like, I am full, like sickly full from Thanksgiving. And you're talking about pie, and I'm ready to go back upstairs and eat more pie.
Baking is like my side passion. So anytime I can talk about it, I'm really happy.
Our chat though, y'all MFers making me hungry. See, it's supposed to be about vampires.
Oh, I'm not sorry. I am not sorry about this.
All right, so I had a view where the vampires like basically creeping in on these sleeping people in the room for the wake, but I didn't like the angle, so I'm coming back in, seeing if I can get something that's a little bit more creepy.
To make this worse, I'm probably gonna make cookies soon.
Oh, that's my other weakness. Someone brought some seriously good cookies to Friendsgiving. And if you're wondering about how to get invited to Friendsgiving, Friendsgiving was a UVU Illustration Club event. So if you want to come to Friendsgiving, all you got to do is enroll in classes at UVU, join the Illustration Club, and we will be doing lots of fun events. We were talking about how we missed CTNX. A little bummed. I didn't even know it was happening.
I didn't think it was. That's like the thing you guys went to LA for, right? Mm-hmm. That I've heard so much about.
Yeah, we had a great time though. We had a really good time. So we wanted.
Anytime someone talks about it, they're like, "Ooh, okay." Chili Chapters is talking about Levon Bakery in New York City. I have been there. And oh my gosh, yes, those had great cookies. I got an enamel pin from them to prove it exists, basically. It's such a small little bakery. I think it's kind of near the Shakespeare and Company bookshop, if I remember correctly. And it's wonderful. Wonderful place.
I got a lot of.
You're telling people. Love how you're telling people go enroll in college and then you get fed once a year.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. There you go. Socialism at work. I'm having a hard time with this panel. I'm trying to make this panel creepy. And instead, all I'm getting is like these generic shots.
Jersey asks, can we do a cookie party for the last class of the semester?
I'm down.
That'd be so fun.
It'd be very fun.
I would leave rolling on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
So a suggestion, Chad, or at least maybe just an idea.
Yeah, let's hear it, because I'm struggling.
So far, none of the panels have been purposefully hostile.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to add a lot more, or not a lot more, but a bit more of like a creepy factor, or like suspense, you could have her approach her grieving family with almost like a curious or soft or thoughtful look. Almost like she's like, whoa, I'm alive again, my family's here.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the next panel, you do like a close-up of her like fangs or whatever, and then it's like you can cut back to like a faraway shot where she's just rip, family gone, slurp time, good
Okay.
soup.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna like eat her family.
Okay.
Up and you're ravenously like, are your vampires the kind where they're a bit more like, I don't know, I guess humanistic, or are they more animalistic?
So the whole idea is the more they feed, the more humanistic they are. And then
Okay, so yeah, right now,
the longer they go. So midnight mass. Mass. The longer you go, the more the hunger just sort of overrides like everything. So at this point, they're gonna be like starving, desperate. But I like that idea where it's like for a second there's like a humanity in the face, and then that humanity just like gets wiped away, and it's scary time. It's scary time. So we could just do peaceful.
Because then you're kind of juking the readers a little bit too. They read the first page and they're like, oh no, like spooky. And then she wakes up and you're like, oh, not spooky? Just undead?
Yeah.
Perhaps nice? And then it's like, no. Haha. Wrong.
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 Gosh. Uno reverse card the reader.
You were right the first time. Go back.
Controls the all of emotions.
What if we? Oh, I got it. Okay, hold on. Okay. I know what we're doing here. And just so you know, like normally when you're doing a comic book, there's a script, and you don't have to think about any of this. But we are literally drawing the script with this book. So, this is writing and thumbnailing at the same time, and we haven't added the dialogue yet. So once we figure out the dialogue that goes in, then we get to go back and redo it all again. So, welcome. Yeah. So this is my thought though. What if we have the mom wake up? So, she's sort of creeping, right? Mom and younger sibling, just sort of sad. And then we have the mom look up.
Just to get mortared.
Maybe you could have a frame from like a side shot to get both their profiles to like reaching to each other. And then the next frame would be like similar, except mom's getting her throat ripped out.
So this is what I'm thinking.
Still that classic bonding time.
And I can still keep a little bit of the creep, have the hand in here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even a few of the robes, but we have the mom like, whoa. And then we can switch the scene up where we have an over-the-shoulder shot. Well, actually, no Dutch tilt yet. Alright, let's come in. We have mom, and we have child, and then we can almost just have Lucy for all intents and purposes. almost looking like angelic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of like a nice juxtaposition.
right. Yeah,
It's
like
a miracle.
Right, exactly.
She's back.
Yeah. Oh! Daggone it. Stupid. I gotta straighten this out. Because no matter what, I don't want to be Dutch tilting yet. There we go. And then next panel, we just have the face.
Why does it look like an owl right now?
You know what? That's good. Night creatures.
True.
As many night creatures as we can get. And then the face just goes all eight. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to my pencil. Then younger sibling.
No, poor sibling. Like, imagine your family member just waking up and it's like just to eat you.
That's just sibling. Keta, you are so right.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that.
I love these pretzel noises. They just remind me of video game soundtracks. That's all it is. It's just like, you know, oh, let's get this vaguely close to like Mario. Draw. Draw. I like this. So we have like one more. Wow! We have one more panel where we sort of bring back the whole holy vibe, and then we go full blown Indiana Jones, crazy, scary.
Haha, you thought your daughter was back?
Yeah.
Joke's on you. You fool. You should have known. She's hungry. Mom, I want McDonald's, she says.
That's right.
We have McDonald's at home.
Picture of the McDonald's at home is your little brother.
No!
I mean, in this case.
R.I.P.
I might zoom out on that, maybe get a hand in there. Let's try that. See if we like it better. Oh, that eye. Hold on. We gotta fix the eye.
I think it almost looks creepier if it's just blank eyes.
Really? Let's try it.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I dig it. Can you dig it?
Like, more mindless, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It bumps up that, yeah, animal feel.
Snack packs! Kenna, no! Siblings are not snack packs!
Ah! That's why you have siblings.
Oh.
Event that one day you're just really... That reminds me of Jamestown.
Jamestown? Like the colony? Did they just eat their siblings?
I was...
I'm gonna sneeze.
There was like this... It's like this era of starvation for a little bit. And yeah, they resulted in cannibalism.
Oh, couldn't hit my mute, so I had to
Yikes.
swallow it. Whew. Which was the colony that disappeared? Roanoke?
Yeah, that was the Roanoke colony.
What the? Did you guys see that? That was crazy. My eraser just like, was like I'm not gonna erase anymore.
I'm done.
I
It's
think
going on strike.
Racer said, I'm unionizing. I deserve rights.
Alright, I like having the hand in there. Definitely creepier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Feels like she's, like, reaching almost through the panel.
Ooh, I sort of like what they did, but not intended. There we go.
So yeah, through this whole thing, Chad, I've been working on like rendering my creature design for class.
Uh-huh.
You know, lucky.
Uh-huh.
I have to send you this because like it's looking pretty neat.
My daughter's like the intestine tint.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Fortune.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm checking you all into the therapist. Like, Dad, it's cool. It's a better design. I'm like, doesn't it creep you out? No. They're like, oh, Dad. I think
It's just casual viscera.
Yeah. They're like, oh, Dad. And then we can just do sort of the crazy action lines. Oh! There we go.
Nice.
Okay. Now, the only thing I don't like about that is we have the two big panels right at the start. But I think it's okay. Because this will be, yeah, they won't see, the other panel, they won't see the first page when they turn the page. This will be it. And then, if you know, like I said, if it's scrolling, they won't be next to each other either. So, I'm going to give myself a pass on that. And, you know, I guess if we wanted to, we could actually start flushing this out. So now when I did this with, let me go back real quick. Let's go back to gallery. And then we'll go back to, so I wanted to, let me see. Yeah, this is it right here. So this is about, as far, like, you know, when I draw without reference, I mean, this is pretty close to what the finished image was. Let me see if I can just sort of toggle. Nope. Let me get these closer. Yeah. So that's the finished one. That's the sketch one. So this is about as far as I can get just sort of shooting from the hip without reference.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people like that. Yes, Artist Elite definitely did put it up there. So you have seen this, but this is as far as I get without reference, and then you can see this is where it gets with reference. Took a picture of my own face, my own hands. You know, let things get a little bit more real, which I like. But sometimes if I can do that without having to shoot reference, I will. So we can come back in here and let's go back in, and we can actually start working on some of these. This one would be a fun one. We could probably do without the reference if we wanted to. We can just sort of turn this down. So just take that and turn it down. Now I probably will get reference for the hands. But we'll see.
I love how you do eyelashes.
Just the spiky spikes.
They are really cool.
Yeah, they just look awesome.
The eyelashes alone will just stab you. Little knives for eyelashes. Freddy Krueger, but make it glamorous.
Why do I feel like you would invest in fake eyelashes that are just mini little razor blades?
What? I probably would. Be a little cautious though, because imagine if one of them came loose and then was like, I'm just gonna slice your cornea.
Ah!
Yep.
Oh.
There's that for everybody.
I have like two memories as a child, like when I was 4 years old. One of them was before my eye surgery, where I was hunting Easter eggs. I kept finding the same golf ball over and over again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then like the next one is basically the doctors like coming at my eye with a scalpel before I like passed out for eye surgery.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So anytime like
I always forget that you're.
have you guys seen Fire in
I
the
always forget that
Sky?
you're awake for eye surgery.
In Fire in the Sky, there's a scene. So there's a scene in Fire in the Sky, and there's a scene in the remake of Evil Dead where they basically stick someone in the eye with a needle, and I mean, I can't take it. You talk about like me having to come apart, like that's it. That's the come apart right there, because I cannot, for whatever reason, it's triggering.
I can't handle like eye stuff.
You gotta stay out of the eyes.
I want to say there was this movie that came out years ago. I want to say it was like, you know, Truth or Dare, or like Would You Rather. It's one of those like evil game kind of movies.
Squid
The poster
Game?
for that movie is. It's not Squid Game. I can talk about more than Squid Game. I have watched more than Squid Game.
Actually, was it Ray Ray that was like, sorry, I was thinking about Squid Game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I zoned out. I was thinking about Squid
I
Game.
zoned out.
That
I
was-
was,
Right before we went live, I like spaced out super hard, and Chad asked a question, and there's like awkward silence, and I realized that he had asked something, and I didn't know what he had asked, so I just had to come clean, and I was like, sorry, I spaced out. I was thinking about Squid Game.
Seriously,
Which I
Ray, one of
think
these
is
days-
valid.
Oh, it is. I was just about to say, one of these days, we need to coordinate where I show up wearing my, like, square mask outfit, and you show up wearing your triangle.
I have it. I
Just need
have
to
it
find a
now.
circle.
I got a refund from the scam, so I got it for free.
what scam? What
Oh, so Squid Game got popular,
Uh-huh.
right? Before it's even October, like freaking September 30th or something. I go online, I find Squid Game outfit costume, and I order it. I was like, oh, this will definitely be here on time for Halloween. It'll be really cool. And weeks passed, and the tracking number that they gave me didn't work, and it still didn't work. And eventually, I was like, hello, what's going on? And so I tried to reach out to customer service, and they like wouldn't get back to me. And eventually, I got a hold of them. I was like, hey, is this a scam? Like, for real, I'm gonna get my money back if you're not actually sending the costume. They're like, don't worry, it's on the way. And I was like, it's literally not.
Yeah.
And so then I finally got the costume the day after Halloween.
Shut the
I
front
opened it
door.
up. No, the day after Halloween, I was so sad. I opened up the package, and it is like crappy quality. It was so low quality. The jumpsuit wasn't even pink. It was bright red. I was like, this is supposed to be magenta, not red. And like the seams were coming apart. I was like, listen, I paid like $100 to try and get a show quality costume. You send it to me a month later, and it looks like something I could have gotten at the dollar store. So thankfully, since I paid with my credit card, I was able to issue a chargeback, and it went through. So they never sent me a return address for a refund. I asked for a refund. They never sent a return address. So I'm like, well, guess it's mine.
Yeah.
Guess I'll do what I can to try and make it higher quality. Sucks to be them.
Well, it's like you said, they're clearly running a nefarious. And who knows? Maybe they had good intentions and it just didn't work.
Maybe.
Out, but yeah, sounds like. I don't feel bad in those instances.
Yeah, I don't feel bad keeping it like at all.
Yeah.
I asked if I could return it, and like I said, they never gave me an address, so that's kind of on them.
Yep. They're like, no. Nah.
The masks like aren't great, but I've got a what's it called? A Dremel that I can use to try and reshape it a bit better. I can repaint the shapes on the front so they're actually the right size. The jumpsuit, I can either just order a new one, like just a plain jumpsuit and dye it, or I can attempt to bleach and then re-dye this one to get the right color. Because I know a couple like really good fabric dyes that turn out super vibrant. So I'll just have to mess around, and I'll definitely have a costume for next year at least. That's for sure.
Well, and it should be.
If you
perfect
figure
timing
something
if they're
out,
doing,
let me know.
Squid Game 2.
True.
Because I was,
But, yeah,
I was
Peri-
telling you, Ray. Yeah, because when I got mine, I was telling you that it was kind of like a weird. Yeah, it wasn't really magenta. It was kind of like a really like kind of light red or something. Like it was
Yeah.
weird. And I was telling Ray, like, I was wondering if because these weren't like officially licensed, Squid Game suits, they were just kind of like, knockoff suits. If they had to change the pigment so that like they couldn't get sued or something, I had no idea. Or maybe they were just like really poor quality.
Yeah, it was.
Either way, if you figure something out, let me know.
Yeah, it probably
Yeah.
wasn't official. I think that's probably safe
Yeah.
to say it wasn't official.
The site that I went
So I just
to,
got
I
mine off
thought
of
it was
Amazon.
like, I thought the site that I went to was official. They were advertising it as official,
Oh.
and I
Oof.
fell for it. I fell for it.
Well, apparently a similar scam happened with a Squid Game Bitcoin. Did you hear about this?
I didn't.
Oh.
But that doesn't
my gosh, you gotta
surprise
kidding
me.
I shouldn't say Bitcoin. I should say cryptocurrency. But but yeah, they had like a Squid Game cryptocurrency, and then all these crypto bros dumped all this money into it, and then it just evaporated.
There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that do that actually, and it's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Yeah. No, if you're gonna do something like that, that's Vegas money. That should be like board Vegas money. Don't ever like put your kids' college tuition into any of that, because that is not coming back. That front tooth is way too wide. We're gonna have to do some. I'll have to fix that, but for right now, I'll leave it. Yeah, that's creepy AF right now.
It is.
I'm wondering, how late did you want to go to?
We need to be wrapping up at 5. So
in 15 minutes or
yep,
so.
15 minutes or so. Oh, I want to thank everyone who tuned in today. Yeah, man. Every now and then, see, sometimes when you do stuff like this, it's like the energy of the sketch just comes through and it works. And
Yeah.
it's sort of a testament to like, not overthinking it, not over noodling it, not over rendering it.
Exactly.
Like if you can sort of bust it out like this and it just works, like hot diggity dog, because like chances are, and I'm probably jinxing it talking about it like it's already done. But if I can get this panel done like during this stream and then it just stays that way, that anytime you can do a panel in an hour, that's some pretty good.
True.
Pretty good work. Let's leave that there. And then I want the bottom. Now I sort of did a classic mistake with the jaw, where the jaw is just coming straight down instead of swinging on a hinge. So like this is gonna need some fixing, but I'll just leave it like this for now.
Swinging on a hinge.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about, where.
Oh yeah, like the mandible really do be. I just never thought of the jaw
Right,
like that though.
yeah.
I was like,
So,
wow,
like, if
really
that-
do just be hinging.
Yeah, if that's the top jaw. Your jaw doesn't do this. It doesn't go down. It swings on a hinge. So it's doing that. Right? So the way I have this drawn, her mouth is just lowering. It's not swinging on that hinge.
Snake mouth.
Yeah. So like her chin would
Snake mouth.
her chin would be back there like that. I sort of like that too, like almost like the skin's all folding up because it's like so wide that it's just like.
Oof.
Ooh, yeah, straight up anaconda.
And it just lengthen the tongue a little bit. And then the tongue, remember the tongue is, did we reveal the secret?
I don't think we did.
Okay, so we're going to keep that secret then. We're gonna
I just had an idea though.
We're gonna see,
Not like for you. I was just thinking, since Chili Chapters in chat said like what that tongue do though, I was thinking like, what if a vampire's tongue was actually like a mosquito proboscis? So they bite your neck and then they just like their tongue, and then they could just like drink it like a straw.
So actually, if you've read Guillermo del Toro, is that right? Guillermo del Toro?
I haven't.
Yeah,
Is
that
that-
is right. It's Guillermo.
Oh.
So there's Guillermo del Toro, and then there's Benicio del Toro. Benicio is the actor. Guillermo's the director. Guillermo wrote a book called The Strain, and
Guillermo del Toro.
yeah, and basically that's what his vampires do. Ours is different, but there's a reason for the, and I can show you the pictures, but that's a spoiler. Or did we show the pictures? I think we might have showed the pictures when we drew the bats. So if you want to go back to the previous podcast, we might have dropped some Easter eggs in there. But there's a reason why the tongues look the way they do. There's a reason. It all makes sense. Oh, but
This is looking so good.
I gotta cut this off.
Ooh, I like that you can see the muscles underneath the tongue just like straining as it's just like leaping on out of there.
Oh, and I gotta get rid of this. All right. The Curse of the Redheads. It's a Weasley!
No! Gosh, I haven't even seen all of Harry Potter, and just what I understand, the Weasleys are good people.
They are good people.
Some of them.
Most of them.
Most of them, yeah. The ones that survive.
Oof.
Too soon?
Ooh, well, now I... Oh. Now I know that not all of them survive.
I mean, in any given book where there's like a massive war in the finale, you could just assume that some of the main characters or beloved side characters will not survive.
I think, personally, I think Ron was supposed to bite it in that battle. I think Ron was supposed to bite it, maybe even Jenny. Because J.K. said that if she could go back and rewrite it, Harry and Hermione would end up together.
I do remember she said that. Mixed feelings about it, though. Death of the author and all that,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I really don't care a thing about Harry Potter. I was never like a Harry Potter kid growing up, so like nowadays getting in...
Yeah.
Like, getting into it nowadays, because of course I've told people before that I haven't seen past, like, I think The Order of the Phoenix or something, and I never read the books. I mean, people look at me like, I was the one who nailed Jesus to the cross. Like, I've committed some, like, kind of crazy sin. And it's like,
So
I don't feel like it's, worst offense I could ever commit.
Nah.
It says, don't they suck through their teeth, though, or do they scrape and lick? I think...
Is that a Billy and Mandy reference?
No, I'm reading the chat.
No. Like, I'm talking to Chili Chapters, because the whole scrape and lick, it just makes me think of Dracula from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh, okay. We'll let Chili Chapters respond.
What do you think, Chad? Do you think they... they suck through their teeth, or do you think they...
So, this is what I imagine. And once again, it depends on the canon. I think they puncture the veins with the teeth and then they suck. Now some people thought that they're like, and I think that's the only way. But some people thought like the teeth are almost like needles, and they're hollow. So like when the needles go into the vein, then it just goes up the teeth. I think the teeth puncture the vein and then they drink it.
Kind of like a... Yeah, I've read that, like, theory before. I think when I was really little, there was a book series where, like, this girl meets her twin, and her twin is a vampire, but she's a human, or something like that. I don't know.
Are you sure
But
it
I'm
wasn't
pretty sure
Twilight?
that's...
Are you sure it wasn't?
It,
Twilight?
no,
Oh my God.
it was not Twilight. It wasn't. Like, I'm talking the books were written for, like, middle schoolers, probably. Like, late elementary school kids or middle schoolers. It was a kid's book.
Mhm.
But yeah, their vampire lore was kind of cool.
It kind of makes sense, you know, like why they would have fangs, because it's like they just serve the purpose of like opening the wound, and then, you know, that mouth can just take care of the rest.
Yeah.
Because it's like also you have these massive long fangs. If you just have to, if they're only to make a wound and not to actually drink through, then they're literally just in the way when you try to actually drink the blood. You know, unless they stay in the neck as straws.
Well, gosh, that's a great question. We should probably think about it more. But
See,
I
I would just
always
wonder-
thought like the okay, so like the lions, what lions do, like the reason why the lions have claws is so basically they can grip their prey. But when it comes to the kill, it's all about the mouth. They put the mouth right over the windpipe and crush it. So with a vampire, it would make sense that they have the fangs, so they have the claws to basically pin people down so they can't escape, they can't run, and then the teeth, you know, for you know, getting into the neck, and then just draining the blood out of the neck. So, so that's why I think they'd have both. But like I don't know if you've ever watched like a lion take down a gazelle or anything, but that's what they do. They, you know, the claws.
I have indeed seen Planet Earth
Right.
Yeah.
several times.
I was just about to say,
even.
I've watched Planet Earth.
Poor gazelles.
I've been down
Even
this
watched
road
Planet
before.
Earth.
And then the
I've even
hyenas
seen
come.
Planet Earth 2.
Oh my gosh. See, that just makes me wonder, like, their teeth would have to be really strong. Like, if they are hollow, and, you know, I don't know how deep veins are on the neck. I'm assuming they're relatively
not
close.
very.
Okay. So I'm like, depending on how far down you have to, like, bite. Imagine, like, biting into someone, and it's just, like, snap.
Yeah,
It's like, there goes your tooth.
Right.
Okay, wait. I have no idea
If they
where I
are
read
hollow.
this. I have no idea where I read this one, but I read in some vampire fiction somewhere, where the vampires actually could sense heat through their incisors,
Huh.
and they could use them almost like a dowsing machine to sense where the biggest vein is, because they can sense like the heat, and that way they puncture the vein every single
Oh.
time. And I thought
that-
that was really cool. I
that-
don't remember what that's from,
That
but
made sense, but yeah, if you remember, let me know, because right now I'm sort of consuming mass, like rewatching all the old vampire movies, reading as much as I can. Yeah, doing the research, so to speak. I hate how small that finger is in comparison to the thumb. That's gonna have to get fixed. Not right now, though. I'll probably take reference, just so you guys know. So, another thing I'll do when I do these drawings is I'll basically try and get a panel done, and then I'll let it sit. I'll let the panel sit, and if I still like it in a couple of days, then it's done. And if I come back and I don't like it, then I'll do whatever I need to do to fix it. And usually that involves reference of some kind, whether or not I'll bust open like Dad's studio, or lots of times I'll take pictures of myself in the mirror. I have kids and a wife, so sometimes they pose for me, sometimes I have students pose. But yeah, usually just the cheapest thing is what happens. The cheapest, easiest, most accessible. Alright, there we go. I think I'm just going to drop these in and see if this works. Oh no! Daggone it. There we go. There we go. I can see that right there. All right, let's try it.
Nice.
I don't know if I like that or not. Anyway, but yeah, not too shabby. Creepy.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah, ooh, pretty visceral.
It's cool.
Scary. I'll do a little bit of cleanup, but for the most part, yeah, we got 2 pages of layouts done, and 1 panel of pencils done. So not too shabby. 4:58. We want to thank everyone for coming and watching us today. Sorry we're a little late. We didn't do it on Thanksgiving. We figured everyone would be stuffing their pie holes with pie. So we came in on Black Friday. But next week we will be back to our scheduled time on Thursdays. If you miss us, please watch us on YouTube. You can everything's going to YouTube now. But yeah, we'd love to have you join in. And if you have questions about drawing comics, come ready next time, and we'll try and answer some of your comic questions, creating comic questions. If we can answer them, we will answer them. If not, we'll tell you we don't know, and good luck. So, all right. Chili Chapter says they're going to subscribe on YouTube. Thank you. Make sure to tell your friends where they can see you. And everybody have a happy rest of your Thanksgiving break. We'll see everybody next week. You guys want to say anything?
I was just gonna say, see you guys.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next time.